Okay, folks, this video is about preventing discrimination from being unemployed. So if you've ever had a gap in your resume because you haven't worked for a while and then found yourself when you're looking for a job, some people don't want to give you a shot because they're wondering why you've been unemployed for a while, this video is for you to see how you could avoid this, particularly in the field of technology. So stay tuned.
Okay, so you're not working and you're having a hard time finding a job, right? Because there's been a long gap since you've last been working. This is what you do. When there's a lack of opportunity, you create your own job. And I really mean that, as in create a company. So every company that's been out there had a beginning. There's no reason why you can't start your own. And whether or not it's about to make money, that's besides the point. Most companies, well, I don't know about most, but a lot of companies don't make money in the beginning until later on, okay? The main objective is so that you can have something that you're focusing on and you're applying technology skills and you're learning and implementing what you're learning into a real entity, okay? So you can think of some type of company, some website basically, and that has a particular service, and think of all the different type of technologies that you want to learn and apply it in building out the website. For example, if you wanted to learn .NET, or if you wanted to learn Ruby on Rails, or if you wanted to learn how to use Amazon Web Services, all those different technologies, you could choose one and then apply it to the efforts that you're doing in building out the application, whether it's a website or a desktop application or whatever it is. Okay?
Hey everyone, I may jump in a couple of times during this video just to add some comments to what I'm saying. So for this section right here, I mentioned to come up with a company idea and talked about adding technologies to it, but didn't really give examples of company ideas. So one example could be like if you came up with an idea for a new dating website. Maybe this one is one where you're not doing the searching, but someone else can do the searching for you and save you the headache, right? And then you pay that person however much it might work. Or there's another business idea for business ideas. It's a website where you can actually post business ideas, and if someone actually tries to take it and bring it to fruition, they can compensate you. Or maybe it could be a really intricate website like a voting website where it's one that could be used for that national election. How cool would that be? So either of those can be developed using React or Java or PHP, the technologies, all right? So those are some like examples, whatever your example could be. So that's it. If anyone ever tries to use any of these ideas and become really successful, make some few million, just throw a few mil my way. Just kidding, but serious. All right.
Now, realistically, you could just be working on learning technologies through tutorials. And when you're applying for a job, you could be like really on par with anyone else, okay? If not even better, because for tutorials, depending on the one that you're using and that you're learning from, I feel that you could be more current than those individuals that are currently working at a job and maybe just working on a particular technology. Maybe it's even a legacy technology. And you could be more current and ready to apply your skills because of tutorials that you've been doing. But you know what? The reality is, in the real world, they don't really care that much about tutorials. They kind of look at it like, it's not like a real job. And it's a bozo move because they don't know, they might not even ask exactly what you've been learning. The real step that employers should take, or recruiters, but let's just say employers, recruiters, oftentimes they don't even like really know technology. The real step that they should take is saying, okay, well, we're gonna give you a technical exam and we'll see where you're at. Boom. But you know what? Some people don't do that. And those are bozos.
Okay, folks, just wanted to jump in here to clarify something because I see there's some room for misinterpretation. What I'm saying is that there are some employers that won't even give you a shot with the technical interviews if they hear that you've just been working on tutorials for an extended period of time. And then they'll write that off. And that's the bozo move, because they should give you a shot to see what you are learning.
All right, so now you could be like, okay, Ronald, so create my own company, where do I start, right? Really, it's not even that big of a deal. Technically, creating your own company starts by you coming up with an idea and starting to implement it. Forget paperwork aside. It really just has to do with what you want to do and how you want to do it. And then you've already started. To make it legitimate, you need to file paperwork so that you can be either an LLC, a partnership, or a sole proprietor. I could put a link down to give you some differences and descriptions of different forms of companies. But for our purpose, a sole proprietorship should be enough. The real quick difference between sole proprietorship and the other forms of companies is that when it comes time for doing your taxes with a sole proprietorship, they're using your social security number to identify you as a company, as opposed to like a corporation where they give you a unique tax ID number. And the main reason behind even having like corporations is that if something goes down, well, I mean, this is just like one of the reasons, you can't yourself get sued because people would have to deal with like the entity itself, the corporation. But when you're a sole proprietor, people could hold you liably responsible, okay? But if you're just starting this up and just for the sake of like having the title of a company, if you're not selling any goods yet at the very beginning, then you don't have to worry about anyone suing you, okay? Now, so let's say you decide, okay, I'll be a sole proprietor. The thing that you want to do is fill out the paperwork to do that. You need to just get a business license. I live in California, so it may vary from state to state, but from my understanding and what I've been doing is I went ahead and got a business license. Okay, you could just go to City Hall or go to their website and just fill out the paperwork. You don't want to hire anyone to do that paperwork for you. There are some businesses out there that will charge you a few $100s. You don't need to do that. When you see the paperwork, you're going to be like, oh, okay, that only took me like a few minutes to fill out, and now I have a business license that's coming to me. So you need to do that. The other thing, and this I just actually recently learned, is you may be required to fill out some paperwork for the name of your company. Like I think they call it a statement of fictitious name or something to that effect. I actually just learned about it. But the most important thing for me was to have like my license, and my accountant was good with that. And then the other thing is to be able to keep track of your expenses, because one of the benefits of having a business is that you can like write off certain expenses that you use for your business. Obviously, you don't want to abuse that, because if you write so many things off and it shows that you hardly make any income, if you try to like buy a house soon and they're like, hey, it seems like you don't have any income, that kind of like backfires. And there's other ways that it can backfire also, but you just have to like know how to use that benefit the right way. So that's it so far, right? All I mentioned is you decided if you're a sole proprietor. The next thing is to get a business license. The other thing that you want to do, right, in the legitimate world is to have your a bank account for your business separate from your own personal account. And that makes it a lot easier when it comes to tax time. So if you open up a bank account before, all right, it's no big deal. Now you open up one just for your business. A couple more pieces of paperwork you might have to do that's unique to it being a business, but then that's it. All right, after that, you've got your own entity that now you could like build a website for and decide what technology you want to apply and do that. Now, you can put that on your resume, and when it comes time to apply for a job, all right, that blank space where you weren't working, you are now working on your own business. And you know what? Who knows? What you're working on could end up flourishing, and then you figure out how to actually make a profit from it, and maybe that becomes your focus. But it's like one of the great things that you can do on your own that some people just don't think about. Now, the other thing is that you don't have to do everything on your own. Even though you're starting on the business itself, initially on your own, you can get help for free. I mean, there are people that might not be working also. There are some future software engineers that are just learning, maybe just coming out of a boot camp, and they haven't gotten a job yet. And you could look on Indeed.com and just hire some intern to come help you. And you could delegate work. Now it's becoming more like a business, right? Or let's say, and I shouldn't just say or, I could just say and, let's say that some of the work that you're doing becomes like extremely challenging and you run into a roadblock and you're willing to pay a little for someone to help you out to get over that hurdle so you could continue building your application. That's what consultants are for. There are websites like Upwork that you can go to and like find somebody that has particular skill sets in Angular or C# or Java or SQL and get them to just help you troubleshoot that bug, and you continue on your way. So you literally could come up with an idea for a sophisticated website, do the parts that are relevant for you to learn. If you get stuck, get some help, whether it be for free or you pay a little to get it done, and then you've got something, okay? Obviously, save it and put it on as a portfolio, because when you are looking for a full-time gig again, you can show that like on GitHub or a demo. Once again, unfortunately, I've come to learn that sometimes people don't even care to look at demos, but if they at least get a good glance, you could encourage them to. And I would actually say that, because sometimes employers are lazy. All they want to do is just go through a bunch of candidates and like ramble off some technical questions, you know, see if you could pass it. And they don't want to do for more than that. But if you take the initiative to say, hey, I really would like to show you some of the projects that I've been working on, or this business idea that I've been working on where I created this application, is that all right? Most likely they'll say, yeah. If they don't, remember, you kind of interviewed them. You also interview them the same way that they're interviewing you. If they don't really care to see a little bit of your work, something that you're excited about, that you think might be relevant for them to know, that's kind of like a red flag. What other time are they not going to try to listen to you? So that's all. If you like this information, if you think this was useful for you, if you found value in it, go ahead and hit that like button, and to check out new videos that I put out, hit that notification bell so you're in the know, okay? That's it for now, and I will see you in the next video.